What we found is that there's two different kind of diets, and generally nobody is doing either one of these diets the right way. We have in this corner the vegetarian, who may be, in many instances, eating processed vegetables, overloading on certain vegetables like kale and oxalate producing elements, and actually even toxifying their body more, because the purpose of becoming a vegetarian is like a fast. It's like a cleanse, where you're going to break down all the calcification and the deposits and all the fatty acids and the irregulations and all that. You're going to give the body a break for a moment, which everybody needs. And so obviously, when you look at your standard vegetarian, they're like a junk food vegetarian. They don't eat meat, but they eat vegetarian pizzas and all this kind of stuff. Or they're extreme, where they're juicing thousands and thousands of vegetables and drinking all of that, and not in the awareness that there's a threshold to this. You can't actually stay in a cleanse forever. Okay. And then in this corner, we have meat eaters. This is the guy that comes in, he's like insisting that all of this meat is the way to go. And the truthful part of this is that they're generally only eating the choice cuts, meaning that they're eating the steak, they're eating the filet mignon, and they're eating the breast, and they're eating all this. But actually, what has been proved now factually, it's actually the organs of the meat, what they call nose to tail, that if one wanted to rebuild different parts of their body, that's what they would be eating, not necessarily the choice cuts. So we find that the meat eaters are eating the wrong diet and the vegetarians are eating the wrong diet. Is there anything new here in this matrix that we're now discovering how to bring balance to? So that's where, again, that's the personalization of it, because we actually experience this in our daily lives, and we also see this going on in the community. So truthfully, if you're rebuilding organs, you build organs with organs. Now, this modern setting is got everything processed, meaning that for you to even come in contact with blood, this is even if a partner is bleeding. Let's say, for instance, one of your partners severs his arm. You're going to be able to call the police, call the ambulance. You're not going to be there like, yo, let's get some bandages on this wound. Let's press this thing down. Let's reattach the artery. Look, I'm going to clip off this. You're not going to be doing any of that, because you're coming from a processed reality where everything that you want, you call, like you just call and order a pizza. You go in the store, you buy a box, right? And this is what's kind of happened to the reality, and why so many people are confused, especially about these two diets. Because we're no longer actually in the stage where an eyeball is what we're arguing over. But if you go to the tribal setting, as I mentioned yesterday, anything that there's two of, everybody's arguing. It's like, I got the eye. Oh, I got the esophagus. I got the spleen. Because organs heal organs, because they're made from the same thing. And that's where the building blocks and nutrients actually come from, to build up. Vegetarian is very important, because that's where the things come from that are solvents. Plants are absorbing the soul or the sun, and they're also cleansers. Even actual cleansers in the kitchen are made from plants, and that's what they're going to do to the body, right? So then what happens, though, is that if this starts to come in balance with peer groups, videos off of Netflix like Food Incorporated, and all this stuff is mixed into this, then everybody's just confused and weak from one side or another, and then they're not balanced, because they're all warring against each other. And this happens inside the consciousness, because we're not completing the circle of life. And I see this at times like the RPG game, role-playing game, where you come in and you have these three characters to choose from. There's the big Viking-like dude with the big axe, right? And he's the big body, the big beard, and because that's what his role is in the role-playing game. And then you had this little skinny-ass elf with the hella precision, though. He'll hit you with the arrow and a little pouch that he got, and he's just killing them from far off. And then you have the wizard, right? And each of these have a specific diet. But what you'll always find in the game is you need to use each one of these based on the level. You see what I mean? So if you're going to a different level in life, you need to be able to choose the proper character and the proper diet that is going to allow you to win that game, because everybody is counting on you.
Advanced spiritual intelligence is on the rise. Like and subscribe to continue this legend.